Okay, so we're here in Midtown Manhattan. It's about mid-afternoon. The weather isn't exactly what I'd hoped for, but it looks like it's starting to rain, which is always good for me if you know my work. Umbrellas are a great object. They make people stop having their phone in their hand. Everyone's moving quicker, they're more distracted. You can really do whatever you want when it's raining. Just going by today, because it's been overcast all day, I would want to shoot later in the day. If you've got no strong light sources to work with, if you just wait until the sun goes down, and you're lucky enough to be in a city like New York where there's man-made light sources absolutely everywhere, that's the time of day to shoot. If it's cloudy, absolutely everything you look at is a potential photo. So it can be overwhelming because everything's flat. There's no obvious things to move towards. At night, you just, like a moth to a flame, you just walk around seeing bright light source, and you just work the light sources. It makes it a lot easier. The approach is open. I mean, that's what street photography is. It could be nothing, it could be everything. It could be we turn a corner and just get gifted some incredible scene that no one's ever seen before and I'm never going to see again, and I'll just shoot frantically. Or we could walk for half an hour and see nothing and just be trying to build abstract frames and compositions to maybe come back to later on. Most of the history of street photography exists in this area, but like anywhere you go, even if there is no history of street there, you need to wander and just acclimatize, see what's happening, understand where people are moving and what's happening on the street. So we're just going to walk, get a feel for the area, see what's going on and see what we see. The thing I'll be paying attention to right now is just little elements like the back of his jacket flapping up, the corner going over, maybe there'd be something in his back pocket that would be interesting, and that little detail would be the shot. Because there's no sun, there's no big pool of light hitting this corner, there's no obvious frame. Everything, every little detail could be a shot. There we go. Yep, okay, that's what. You've got the red stoplight just passing through in between him silhouetted against the gap in the buildings there. The red and blue flash from the ambulance as it passes, it gives you a temporary light source, which on like a nice gold entranceway, someone moving inside it, you can get a really odd shadow that you won't be able to repeat. It was just a nice texture on the glass on the far side of him. It was enough contrast in the light because he's inside and he's under shade for him to be silhouetted. And then the red lights in the distance there were coming through the window with a little strip light, which I'm not sure where that was coming from in the near side. It's an okay shot. I don't know, maybe until we sort of look at it and I edit that, it could be good. Contrast is key. If you haven't got color contrast or contrast in terms of dark and light, or a really compelling moment, how are you going to direct the viewer's eye to the thing you want them to look at? You could use elements in the scene to direct. You could have great light contrast. It could be color contrast. You just need something that's going to make people look at what you want them to look at. And this is just a good example of why this time of day in this city isn't always ideal, because the lights from the truck there would be brilliant, but it's just too bright around. It's not spilling enough on anything. You can see it just about, it's hitting some metal surfaces, but it's just not illuminating anything that much. In a couple of hours' time, this would be completely different. I mean, a street performer like that, what he's doing, throwing the guitar in the air, is unusual. I mean, I wouldn't normally look at street performers, but that is out of place. But then it's what are you actually going to do with that element? it's really flat. If he throws that guitar in the air, it's just going to be a guitar against the building. There's nothing more you can really do with it. So maybe you just spend a time watching and looking how he's acting. Maybe there is something you can do with that. Maybe you come back later on, it's darker, you do get another ambulance pass up the street, which they pretty regularly do, and it's him throwing that guitar in the air with the red and blue flashing lights on him. That becomes a lot more interesting than than right now, where it's just completely flat light. Maybe he moves. You could see where he goes later on, but I suspect he's going to be there a while, so there'll be time to come back and see what you can do with it later. A time of day like this, there's no guarantees that you're going to get anything in any direction. It could be worth, and it's a good reason why people work corners, it could be worth actually staying on the crossroads. Then you can really quickly move two different things as they approach. And it means you can see a really long way in every direction, so you can prepare for what's coming. So I can see everything coming down every one of the streets. Yeah, it's just stacking the deck in your favor, I guess, is why people, especially in New York more than anywhere, because you've got the grid system, people just work corners and shoot characters that just appear in front of them. You just get handed little scenes. You don't even have to move sometimes. Times Square would be really kind of a place for that, because there's so much going on, and there are some clean frames to be had in there, but it's that busy you can't really expect a single isolated character to just appear in your frame and finish it off. You just have to run around and hope something weird and interesting just happens in front of you. Because of the lighting conditions we're working with right now, I think we'll head towards Times Square and actually do a bit of hunting.